What's going on, everybody? This your boy Sylvester, aka Sly.
Happy Sunday. It's your boy Perry, aka Mr. Ambitious.
Hey man, happy holidays to everybody, man. Whatever you're celebrating, man, we want you to have a safe and wonderful holiday with your families, man. Today, man, it's gonna be part two. It's going to be part two because last week we talked about unhealed trauma. It's gonna be a continuation of that, man. Because Perry, he has some more stuff he want to share from his heart, man. So Perry, go on, preach to the people, man. Go on, preach to the people.
All right, part two to unhealed trauma. Um, this particular one is gonna be more so about relationships and
Okay.
how to cope with your unhealed trauma when you in a new relationship. We all done been through plenty of heartbreaks. We all done been through some pain that
Mm-hmm.
no one wants to speak about.
Right.
So one thing about being in a new relationship is you don't want to drag your new person through the mud because of what you've been through in your past,
Yep.
because that's not fair to that person, and it's definitely not fair to you because of the fact that you haven't healed from the past situations and the past trauma that you've been through,
Mm-hmm.
and just taking it out on that person alone is not okay. So the two of you, especially if you're interested in each other and you're locked in, you come up with some sort of game plan and some sort of mutual agreement that, no matter how hard or how tough things get in our relationship, we will never go astray. Because at the end of the day, if I love you with all my heart and God placed you in my life to be your person as He placed me in your life to be, my person or whatever the case may be, then we got to lock in and we got to work together. Talk to them.
Oh yeah, man. Because with any relationship, it takes both of y'all to do the part. It takes both of y'all to work together, to communicate, to do whatever it takes to make it work. Because a lot of times you see a lot of relationships where someone will say, "Oh, this person did me like this in the past and stuff," and then they'll put that towards the new person that they're in a relationship with. It's just like, yeah, I don't know if you want to do that. I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate that you had those bad experiences with your exes and everything. It's very unfortunate, and I don't wish that on anybody. But this new person that you're encountering, they don't they may not know what you've been through. They may be trying to do right, trying to do right by you and stuff like that. But it's not really fair if they're having to pay for the sorry mistakes of what other people have done to you. So it's not fair isn't it fair to either person? So it's you just got to be careful. You got to be careful. And when it comes to healing, it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, of course, but it's going to take time. So if you're not ready to fully being like a new relationship after dealing with something from a past relationship, take that time to heal. Take that time to just do what you need to do to heal, to get back on track and stuff like that. Because what you don't want to do is just to rush into a new relationship right after getting off of a bad relationship, bad experience in a relationship that you had. You don't want to rush into something new, without properly taking that time for yourself to heal. And healing is crucial with anything. So.
Right. And I'm gonna say this also.
Hmm.
It's never okay to compare your new to your old.
Yes.
It's never okay. You may spot some red flags in the
Hmm.
process,
Yep.
but to fully compare your current to your ex, that's not okay, because now you basically telling your ex, okay, you haven't completely healed,
Yep.
which is okay to an extent.
Yeah.
Like with me, I don't expect my next girlfriend to be perfect. I'm gonna expect her to come in with some rough ends, but your rough ends should never define who you are as a person, and it
Hmm.
shouldn't ever define your next relationship either. Because again, it's not fair to your significant other if God placed him in your life or her in your life to be your person, and vice versa. It's not fair. And plus, that person may have trauma alone with just by the things that you're doing that could bring his or her trauma back.
Come
You
on.
know what I'm saying? So you want to be mindful when it comes down to making sure that you are fully, like you said, fully capable of being in a new relationship. Because if you're not, then be honest with yourself and be honest with that person, so that way y'all not stringing each other along at the end of the day.
Man, you just said something because like prime example, like you in a bad relationship. Let's say you had an ex that cheated on you, which is very common. You had someone that cheated on you that did you wrong and stuff like that, and therefore you had issues trusting people going forward. That's probably one of the most common ones that you'll hear often. And I can understand it to a degree, that trust was broken. And once trust is broken, it's hard to get it back. It is hard to get it back. And I can understand that. But you'll tend to like put a wall up so nobody can get through to it because of what you went through. I get that. But at the same time, if you're wanting something new, you're wanting something different, and this new person comes in and gives you different something that you never experienced before, something that you need to have in a relationship, but you've never experienced it before because of what your past relationships were like. It's like new territory for you. It's like you don't know how to feel, how to act, you don't know how to react.
Right,
You're used to you're used to what you've been through. So you'll probably react how you normally would in other past relationships because of what you're used to. But you're walking into something new and different. And it's just like, oh, okay, this is different. This is a new territory. I've never experienced this. I've never had this before. So it's just about giving each other grace and stuff up to a point, but not using that as an excuse to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again because excuses. You can make mistakes up to a point. Excuses should be tolerated. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, horrible trauma and stuff, is a good thing because it's definitely not. But what I'm saying is you don't want to use that as an excuse to keep making certain decisions that may not be the best. We all have a choice at the end of the day. We all have a choice to make the right decisions for ourselves. Or you can choose to keep putting yourself in a downward spiral, making wrong decisions, and using that bad experience as an excuse over and over and over again. It's going to get old and people are going to get tired of hearing it at some point.
right. And it's draining. Like it's very draining to keep going through the same circle, keep going through the same motion. Like when is the change gonna happen? You know, like when is the change gonna happen?
Come on.
Like the first couple of times, you'd be like, like you said, it's a grace. I'm gonna spare you. But if it keeps happening and it's just a recurring event, then all right, what we really doing? Like, are you really trying to fix yourself for the better? Are you really trying to lock in so we can work together? Or we
Hmm.
just gonna keep on going through the same cycle? Because after a while, people get tired and drained out, and then this thing now you in another breakup
Yep.
because you drained that person out.
Hmm.
And it is hard to see something new. Prime example with me, I know that I've had my encounters of talking to, different people and things like that. And they would, what I'm saying, they would express that, be like, I've never felt this before. Like in my past relationships, all we did was argue, or we would be good one minute and then we'll be back down south the next
Hmm.
minute with our relationship. But to have a consistent thing going on, I'm consistently being treated right, is
Yep.
different. And
Yep.
sometimes they run because they don't know how to handle being in a consistently positive relationship or dealing with someone who really locked in. And that stems from, like you said, that stems from past trauma because they so used to being hurt that when it's time for them to be healed, they don't know how to work with that.
Mhm.
So now instead of them being there and being healed, they hurt the other person. Like I said in the last episode,
Mhm.
hurt people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And so that's a prime example of hurting people. You never been loved truly, so now you run, and now you don't hurt another person.
Exactly. That first, what you said, you run. That's always like that reaction to run because it's new. You're scared. You're fearful of something new because you don't know what's going to come from it. You think, okay, you something new, but then they feel like, what if it's all a setup to get to for that person to actually become who they really are? What if they're like what if they were like your ex or something like that? Because in the beginning, let's just be honest, you got some guys, and some women do this too, but you got some guys out here who will put their best foot forward and they will, do whatever they can to try to impress a girl to get them at first. But
Mm-hmm.
once they got them, then it's just some guys will just show their true colors.
Mm-hmm.
And some guys will treat them like, forgive my language, but they'll treat them like shit. It's the truth. Like they'll sit there and play the nice guy game. They'll try to, say they this and that. They're this kind of guy and this, but in reality, they're really not that kind of guy. They're just trying to play. They're just trying to play you. They're just trying to give you what you look for in a man. But then um when they give it to you, and then it's just like, okay, then it's like you may have fallen for it or whatever because of what they gave you in the beginning. They show the true colors in later on. Then it's just like, dang, like that makes you not want to trust anybody at all, And I look
Mm-hmm.
at that, I'm just like, it's guys like that make it hard for actual good guys out here. It's guys like that make it hard for good guys out here. And the same could be said for women. Because you have some, not all, but some women who do that as well to men. And it's just like it's not cool. It's not cool at all. So it's you if you're gonna be real with someone, be real from the jump. Please be real from the jump. Don't sit there and try to put up a front of somebody that you're not when in fact you're this way. All right. We all have a choice to make changes for ourselves, which is true. But if you're not that kind of person to, if you're gonna sit there and lie to the person from the beginning, don't even waste that person's time. Don't even waste that person's time. That person can move on to something else. You just keep doing whatever you're doing, God forbid, whatever you decide to do and stuff. But stop trying to play people. Stop trying to lead people on. That's also another part of the trauma when people lead others on. And it leads to some unresolved trauma. It leads to a lot of hurt. And people will put up an emotional wall to protect them from hurt, protect them from being hurt from anybody else because of what somebody else did. It's sad, man. It's sad.
It's very sad. It's very sad that you would play with someone's feelings and think it's okay to sabotage someone's feelings who could have been utilized by somebody who really actually want to be with them and actually want to cherish those feelings.
Exactly.
So sabotage is a big thing with unhealed trauma, man. Like you said,
Hmm.
man, a lot of folks out here, men and women, man, they try to play like they in the championship, like they about to win a trophy, about to win the championship ring when it comes down to pursuing the girl or the man that they want to pursue. And then as
Yep.
soon as they get that ring, you know what I'm saying, they get that trophy, then red flags being spotted out off the rip. Like you showing your red flags, but that person so caught up in the lusting.
Hmm. I'm on with the lust.
Let's go ahead and talk about lusting real quick. It's a difference between lusting and loving, man.
Hey, you
It's a
in
difference.
love is definitely different. You lusting after somebody.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you, lust is something you do not want to look. You be like, oh, I'm in love with this person. No, you're not. You in lust with that person. There's a difference. You want something from them. There's a
Mm-hmm.
difference. If you're in
Mm-hmm.
love with somebody, you want something deep, you want something um meaningful with them. And yeah, sure, even if when you're in love with someone, you want something physical in some way as well, and that's normal. But if you just say, "Oh, I'm in love with that person," and you want to be with this person, but in reality, all you want is to get in someone's pants. And then once that door is open and you take advantage of that and you walk out, then what? That person feels stupid for opening their heart to you. They feel stupid or they'll feel some type of way for even allowing that to happen because you let them on. It just goes back to the fact that you let them on in the beginning. So instead of saying that if you really are not in love with that person, just say that. If you just want something from that person, if you want to get in somebody's pants, just say that. I'd rather you be
Mm-hmm.
upfront. I respect you more if you're just being upfront with someone than to sit there and play an act, play a
Mm-hmm.
role when you're not that kind of person. That's just me though. Some people like that. I don't care for that.
I don't care for it at all, man. Like you said, be honest from the jump. You know what I'm saying? If you know that we ain't gonna turn this into a thing, uh, natural and an intimate thing,
Mm-hmm.
then don't even waste my time. Because at
Come
the end of
on.
the day, I know what I want. And I've done been through a lot of trauma in my relationships to know and understand exactly what I want and who I'm looking for. So if you're not going to apply that pressure and show me what I'm looking for and be sincere with it, don't waste my time. just like with anybody else, like if you know what you're looking for and you see the red flags, because the red
Hmm.
flags a lot of times are obvious.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
sometimes people get so caught up in the moment. Oh,
Hmm.
this person like me. Let me go ahead and devote my time to this person. Meanwhile,
Hmm.
like I said, it's a difference between being in love with someone and just lusting. Lusting, man, you have no real connection. You only gonna have that temporary feel. Like you said, you're just trying to have sex with someone, for an example. But
Exactly.
where's the connection piece with that sex? Like we grown people on here, man. I'm just gonna keep it real dirty
Come
with
on,
it.
keep it real.
I'm gonna be professional. Like when you have sex with someone, man, you gotta have that connection piece with it.
Yeah.
If you just having sex just to have sex, just to get your body count up, then you creating another trauma within yourself because now you're gonna find somebody that you actually want to actually have sex with and have that connection with, and you ain't gonna know how to have that connection with because you so used to getting your body count up. Now that one person that you actually want to connect with, you can't do it.
Yo, let me tell you something. That's what a lot of people want to like. There's a lot of people in this world who want to do that. They just want to have sex just to have sex just to get their body count up. They don't want no real relationships. They don't want nothing sustaining. They just want to get it and leave. They want to hit it and quit it. That's what they want. They want to sleep with anybody that they want to, whenever, however, wherever. That's what they want to do. And I'm like, look, I don't judge. That ain't my job. I ain't judge you. I don't prefer that, but that ain't me. I don't do that.
Right,
Nope. I'm good.
right,
And I'll tell anybody. Look, I'll tell anybody. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm a virgin still. I'm still a virgin. I haven't had sex or nothing like that. Because I told myself I wanted to wait till marriage. I've always told myself that. Even though I was raised in church to believe, to believe that, and that's how you was told in church. I ultimately wanted to wait. Ultimately, as I got older, I told myself that I wanted to wait because that's what I really wanted to do. I wanted to wait with the right person. Now, if it
right.
happens before marriage and if it is with the right person, then okay, cool. It is what it is. I ain't gonna fight it, especially if it's the right person. It is what it is. But you got everybody who just wants to, just like you said, just get their body count up. I'm like, dude, what's to be proud of with that? If you're really proud of that, with how high your body count is, you got some people who are proud of that, and I feel bad for them because I'm just like, why are you proud of that? Like you make it sound like it's like an achievement or something like that. Like you're saying like, oh, my body count is this number or is that number. I'm like, okay, why are you so happy about that? That I wouldn't be proud of that personally. I wouldn't be proud of that because it's just like you don't know what you're getting into doing that. You don't know what you're passing around with that. Cause you never know. Because let's be honest, condoms are only 90 something, 99, 98, 99% effective. And let's be honest, you can pass something to somebody. Especially if you know you got something and you still doing that. Boy, I'll be ashamed of yourself. Because you passing stuff around, you still doing it. So,
Right. And like I said, going back to that, you creating another set of trauma for yourself by doing it. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Like you want somebody to love you, but then you giving your body up to everybody under the sun. Like
Come
your
on.
body should be for that right person. If you really trying to be loved and trying to be in love with someone, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But I'm a person, I ain't gonna judge either.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you really looking for love, but you out here demonstrating your body and demonstrating yourself in a lusting way, that's a disconnect
It
because you should be
is.
want to move how you want. You should be willing to move how you're wanting to move. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? If you
Yeah.
wanting to have love, if you wanting that sincere, genuine relationship, you got to present yourself like you really want that sincere and genuine relationship.
Exactly. Exactly. Like that's the thing. Like we mentioned earlier, like there are a lot of people who don't want sincere, genuine relationships nowadays. They just want to sleep around with anybody and everybody. They just want to do whatever whenever. I'm like, that's your prerogative, but I don't see you won't get any sort of fulfillment with that. Because at the end of the day, you're not you when you go home, who you got to go home to? Unless you got a pet, who you going home to? I mean, you have some people who want to be married out here. You have some people who want to be in a relationship, a meaningful relationship and stuff like that, who have somebody to go home to, even if they have family to go home to. And you have some people who may not have family at all, which is unfortunate, and who would want to be able to go home to somebody. We all have a choice at the end of the day. your choice to your choosing of wanting to sleep around with other people, that's your choice. I can None of us can stop you. That ain't that look, that's not us, that's not up to us to say. But I feel like you're gonna regret it at the end of the day. You may not see it like that now, but I feel like you're gonna regret it at the end of the day. Because all it's gonna do is gonna do more hurt than good, do more harm than good. Because it's not gonna do you any good. It's definitely not gonna do any of them any good either. Because all that's gonna do is just gonna put more, like you said, more trauma on their lives, in your lives and stuff like that. And all it's gonna do is just create more drama and create more problems. And let's talk about this too. Like, I'm gonna make this quick. Like, when it comes to relationship stuff, some people will ask the question of what's your body count? Let's talk about
Mm,
it.
mm, mm,
Let's talk about it.
mm. With your body count. Wow. Oh, yeah, let's talk about it. If that's their first question when they try to get to know you, you already just gave out the wrong persona. Because there's no way that someone should automatically just come at you and be like, what your body count is. That's how you really want to start out trying to find love?
Yeah,
You
like
should-
that shouldn't be
Like,
the very first question we ask somebody. If
that,
you ask that question within like numerous questions that you ask, maybe, but even then, like now, unless then you got some people who are worried that a potential partner may have a higher body count than them. You have some people who are worried about that as well, which I can understand because they feel like, if that person's body count is higher than mine, then it's like how easy would it be for them to just leave and just go back to doing whatever. But I'm not one to just
mm-hmm.
assume that that person will just go automatically go back to that unless they decide to make the decision to do so, then that's on them. But you have some people who are worried about that. So
And it's sad that someone has to define whether they the right fit for someone because of body count and
yeah.
because of being cheated on and because
Hmm.
of past just overall relationship problems. That's not the ideal way to find someone to, that would truly love you. You
Yep.
feel me?
Hmm.
So you shouldn't have to worry about any of those things occurring if you got the right person in your face trying to talk, you're talking to, and you feel the energy, because you can feel somebody's energy to see if they a bit, a big fit for you. And if they not, then that's your cue to run. I ain't gonna say
Hmm.
run, excuse
Well,
me.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
your cue
Yeah.
to go away, you know what I'm
Yeah. I get
saying?
what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Look at something else, you know what I'm saying? Or matter of fact, if you already know that you ain't fully prepared to be in a new life and a new relationship, stay single. That's the whole point of being single. Preparing yourself for when it is time to get into that next relationship, because you obviously haven't, healed from your past trauma and your past relationship. So
Hmm.
there's nothing wrong with being single. A lot of folks just hate being alone.
That's the oh, say it again. Say it again.
They a lot of people hate being alone. They hate it. It sucks sometimes. It does. Every now and then it does suck to be alone, because you do wish you had that partner that you can really lock in with. But at the same time, you don't want to lock in with someone with no kind of commitment and no type of covenant.
Come on with the covenant. Come on with the covenant. I'm telling you, like, look, you just said something just there. There's nothing wrong being single, but like you said, they hate the idea of being alone. They don't want to be alone. And I'm just like, look, yeah, it can suck being single sometimes. Yes, it can suck. Anybody can say that. But here's the thing, it's what you make of it. It's what you make of it. You use that time wisely. Use your time to go do some hobbies. Use that time to get to know yourself. Pray, go see a therapist if you need. I encourage that, please. Go see a therapist, please, to get some healing in. Pray, go see a therapist, please do that. Use that time wisely to take care of you, because a relationship takes a lot of work. It does. And you have to be prepared to be able to take that on. and it will require some sacrifice as well. But use that time while you're single to, take care of yourself. Because, like you said, a lot of people don't like to be alone. They don't like the idea of being alone. So they'll feel the need to jump from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship just to satisfy their need of needing to be with somebody all the time. You don't need to be with somebody all the time. It is not required, it is not necessary. There are times when you need to be by yourself. There were times when God needs you to be by yourself. And that's the truth. You got to learn to be by yourself because if you can't learn to be by yourself, learn to love yourself, how can you expect someone to love you? And how can you expect to be with someone if you can't learn to be with yourself? You can't be in
Right.
your own company. How can you be in someone else's company or someone be in your company if you can't be with your own company and be with yourself?
You gotta love yourself first before you love somebody else. And you
Yeah.
gotta love yourself truly before you can truly love somebody else. Because if you don't love yourself truly, then how you gonna love somebody else truly? You dragging yourself against them through the mud, you gonna
Mm-hmm.
drag that person through the mud. Like
Exactly.
everybody come in with rough ends.
Oh
Everybody
yeah.
come in with rough ends, man.
Mm-hmm.
But those rough ends should turn into your strength. It should turn
Mm-hmm.
into your strong points. And if you letting that continue to be your weak point, then you ain't ready.
Mm-mm.
You're not
Mm-mm.
ready. And now you creating more trauma for yourself because you know you're not ready, but you putting yourself out there because you don't want to be alone. But you're going to ultimately be alone because the person that you're trying to pursue, you're going to do them dirty and they not going to have anything else to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
And now you
Exactly.
looking at yourself in the mirror and you looking at other people like, why? Why me? Why I can't find nobody good? Because you dusted off the person that was meant for you because you weren't
Exactly.
ready.
Exactly. Exactly. Like there's a quote I heard, and I take this hard. It was a quote that says, God can create a melody out of broken chords. It's the truth. Anything that's broken, God can use that brokenness and turn it to something just so wonderful. Turn it into something just amazing. Turn it into something melodic, if you will. And the fact is, it's you just gotta don't put nobody through that. Don't put nobody through. If you're not ready, then just stay single. If you're not ready, you're not ready. Don't force yourself to be ready. The time will come, but you have to learn to sit and deal with what you're dealing with. You have to learn to sit in that pain, to deal with that pain. Nobody wants to deal with that pain. They want to escape it. They want to escape
Mm-hmm.
it through various means, whether it be through sleeping with anybody or whatever the case may be, if that's their method of trying to escape from any pain. Albeit you're creating more pain than anything, but that's just me. But you do other various means, but people want to try to escape it. But you got to learn to deal with it because the next person that you want to the person that you want to pursue a relationship with, do you think they want to deal with that? No,
No.
they don't want to deal with that. They're wanting something meaningful. They're wanting something genuine and deep. I don't think that they want to deal with any of the drama, any of the nonsense, any of the chaos that you would be creating or involved with doing some of the things that you might be doing. Now, every relationship is different. That's true. No relationship is perfect. That's true. But you got to work through it. You got to do your part. And the main thing I'm going to say here is look in the mirror. A lot of people are afraid to look in the mirror. You got to look in the mirror. People want to blame everybody for their issues and their issues and problems. Look in the mirror. Have you taken a chance to look at the fact that maybe you're the problem?
Mm.
Maybe you're creating these problems. Maybe you're a part of the reason why this stuff keeps happening. Think about that. Sit on that.
Let it marinate.
Let it marinate. Let it
Let it
marinate.
marinate in your system real quick.
Let's.
Yeah, man. A lot of people don't take a look in the mirror and
Nope.
put themselves as one of the issues, if not
Hmm.
the main issue. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? Like you said, man, everybody want to point fingers at what
Hmm.
they did to them, but let's flip it real quick.
Come
What
on.
did you do to yourself? What did you do to yourself that caused this friction to that person?
Come
Because
on.
it ain't always the other person. You
Nope.
you really need to look at yourself and have a self evaluation. Because honestly, the most problematic situation in any relationship or anybody who trying to pursue someone is self sabotage.
Yep, that is true. That is very true.
Self sabotage is the main killer in most relationships, if not all relationships, because
Mm-hmm.
you know that you got happiness in your heart and in your soul and in your face right now, but you defining your current relationship with your past issues and with your
Mm-hmm.
past relationships that you don't know how to be happy. So instead of learning how to be happy, you want to keep learning how to self sabotage
And that
and you blow
self-sabotage
everything up.
is that self-sabotage is something serious. Ooh. Boy, that's gonna be let me tell you something. That's gonna be another topic too, self-sabotage, because I swear that's so common. Oh, I know I've done it to myself as well, but self-sabotage is real. What we're gonna have to, that's gonna be the next episode. Self-sabotage, man. We about to be cooking. We about to be cooking and frying with that.
Eating,
We about to
eating.
be we about to be eating, man. We gonna be eating with this stuff, man. Y'all eat it up. Man, shoot. I look at the end of the day, you gotta look in the mirror. Look in the mirror because yeah, some people may be the problem. Yes, they may have caused issues, but you also have to play a part in it as well because it's not always a one-sided thing. You can't always blame everybody for your problems, especially if you had something to do with it as well. Especially if you're a part of the problem. No, everybody's afraid
Right.
to look in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask, okay, what did I do? What can I do to be better? Did I do this? What am I doing wrong? A lot of people don't want it because they think they're perfect. They think, oh, I'm right. Oh, I'm this and that. Oh, please. Nobody's right all the time. Nobody's right all the time. We know that. But nobody's wanting to call. Look, there are people who don't want to call us out when we're wrong. So you got to call yourself out. You got to hold yourself accountable. That's another thing. That's gonna be another topic. It just keeps coming. That's gonna be another topic. Not wanting to call each other out. All the BS. Oh, man, see, we about to. Let me tell you something, dude. When it comes to topics like this, boy, we talk about we bring up some other stuff that boy, I'm telling y'all right now, we're gonna be cooking for y'all. I'm telling y'all right now, it's about to be some good old fashioned cooking going on here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And like you said, man, shared responsibility is very uncommon in today's society when it
It
comes to
sure is.
anything.
It
Friendship,
sure is.
relationships, family bonds, shared responsibility just uncommon. Like
Mm-mm.
no one wants to take responsibility for their own actions, but they always penalize the other person. Okay, let's talk about it. So you point out flaws in the other person. Cool. Now let's flip it. Well, they
Mm-hmm.
start pointing out flaws within yourself because, like you said, nobody's right in situations. We all have had our wrongs. Like I said in a previous episode, I had my wrongs in my past relationships. It took me a while to own it because I was just like people. I
Yep.
didn't want to accept responsibilities for my actions. I didn't want to take accountability for my flaws. And it took me a long time to realize that. But once I realized it and I actually started taking ownership for my actions, a lot of doors started opening.
Yep.
A lot of things started opening, man. So same with relationships, like it takes two to tango, but you can't tell me one person single-handedly messing up the relationship. No, 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 no. It takes two people. That means you might have done something that was displeasing to your partner. Now what? You gonna continue to be displeasing to each other until y'all shamble, y'all break, and everything in shambles? Or y'all gonna try to seal the loose pieces together before it does become a big issue because of that pressure coming up and boom, you blow up.
Man, man, look, you done said something just there. I'm gonna end it on this. Like at the end of the day. You have to learn to take responsibility for your actions, just like you expect your partner to take responsibility for their actions. Don't expect your partner to take responsibility for their actions when you won't do the same for yourself. Because at the end, that ain't fair to them if you're not doing it as well. You got to hold yourself accountable. You're holding them accountable, but who's holding you accountable? Hmm? Are they holding you accountable? If not, are you holding yourself accountable?
Right,
You got to hold yourself accountable because if you don't, it ain't gonna end well. It's not
right,
gonna end well. So in order to, and by all means, we're not therapists or nothing like that. We're just speaking from our own experiences. We're speaking from the heart and everything. But all we're saying is this: don't use any of this as an excuse to not hold yourself accountable, to not take any responsibility for any actions that you may have committed. Just like you expect your partner to do the same. You need to do that for yourself. You got to look in the mirror. You got to look in the mirror, just like they
and I'm
have to. Y'all both got to. Like you said, Perry, it takes two to tango. And
and I'm
tango,
say
doing the tango ain't easy.
and I'm gonna say this too, and then I'm gonna let you close it out. You can't pour into somebody with an empty cup, man. You cannot pour into an empty cup if your cup is empty. You can't pour into someone's cup that's leaking out your energy, leaking out your liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Because now both of y'all got empty cups. So you drained that because you poured into someone else's cup that was already empty and got holes and cracks and stuff in their cup. You want to pour it into a clean cup, a straight new cup, or a fully healed cup. Because you can have the cup that was broken and had little cracks in it,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to have that super glue to glue that cup together so that way it can hold.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, when it's time for you to get something poured in your cup, they can be able to reciprocate. If y'all both reciprocating empty cups, that means you're burning each other out. And now you're creating more trauma for yourself because now you're pouring out from an empty cup into another empty cup. That's not cool.
Hey man, I couldn't have said that any better myself, man. You guys got to be careful out here. We all got to be careful out here, man. And none of us are perfect. We gotta all look out. We gotta make sure that we doing all right out here, man. So at the end of the day, we just gotta make sure that we do our part. Just like your partner needs to do their part, we need to do our part so we can just make it all better. To make it just a better experience for all of us. So with that being in mind, man, thank you guys for tuning in as always, man. As always, this is your boy Sylvester, aka Sly.
The one and only man, Perry, aka Mr. Ambitious.
Hey man, happy holidays to you guys. Merry Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Spend this time with your family, man. We love you guys. We hope you have a great holiday as well as a happy new year as well. And we look forward to seeing you guys real soon. Y'all be easy.
Real.